Yo, mother guys, the Insane Game Terrell here, sorry. If you hear shit in the background, that's me playing Sonic Generations demo. For those who didn't know, the demo for this came out yesterday, today being the 26th. And obviously I have it. I've actually been just fucking around with the modern Sonic level the most because I kind of practice a lot with the classic Sonic one. I practice with the classic Sonic one a lot, so I've been messing around with the modern Sonic one. I'm actually playing it right now. I'm sorry, I would show it to you. Ah, fuck it. And honestly, I've learned something. That I think the modern Sonic one is actually going to be the harder one out of the two. That was my fault. I didn't make the fucking jump. Actually, maybe just pause this so I can actually focus on the video. I had it playing in the background. That's what the original intent for it was. Obviously, that didn't come to pass, but you know, life is a bitch sometimes. So, anyways, so after playing the demo, as I was saying, I think modern Sonic is actually going to be the harder, which I find hilarious because the general consistency with this game was that Genesis Sonic was going to own the shit out of modern Sonic. And the reason why I say... Actually, let me finish this shit real quick. I should not have started with eating, so that's going down there. I'm going to finish that later in a second. So the reason why I say that modern Sonic is actually going to probably be the more fun, or probably the harder out of the two, is because classic Sonic doesn't take that long to get the hang of, honestly. At least in this game, he doesn't take that long to get the hang of. Like, alright, we get demos of modern Green Hill and classic Green Hill. Classic Green Hill, I can kind of go all across the fucking top path with Sonic. With classic Sonic. Like, it only took me like maybe 3 or 4 tries to like fully get down the pattern for classic Sonic. Modern Sonic, however, is taking me like 10 tries to get it, and I still can't get all the top half. I can only get certain portions. For example, the top half, when you go around those rails, you have to do like and you go down the hill, and you have to do like the slide and pop out, but you have to keep going far enough to pop out to hit the rail, and to keep going that rail. I can't get that rail. Like, I can get out of that hole, and I'll just fall into the bottom section instead of actually hitting. And I think you have to hit boost, which I haven't really fucked with it. I haven't had enough chances to try because this game has at least modern Sonic has portions has like a curve to it, so you aren't gonna. It's not like Unleashed where all you had to do was boost to win. Essentially, it's like a lot of people have been saying that it's not gonna be that easy. And if you've seen any of the gameplay for the other levels, especially like Seaside Hill or Sky Sanctuary, you can tell it's not boost to win. It's actually more of a challenge, honestly, which I enjoy. But I'm expecting to die a lot in this game when it comes out. It comes out next Tuesday, so that should be interesting. That's the first thing I need to update on. Second thing, get a haircut. It's not really a big deal. It's just that my mom nags the shit out of me. Don't you hate it when your parents do that shit and nag the shit out of you about getting a haircut? It's just fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. People, parents, come on, get it together. I'm 20. Leave me alone. I got back from school and I just took a test, so I might be a little bit out of it. There are actually other few things I want to mention. Also, I beat Batman Arkham Asylum, at least the story portion of it. Not story plus or game plus, but just the original story. I beat that on Sunday night because I remember I was talking to Esper and J-Man and Jason and a whole bunch of other people earlier that day, and then like that night I was like, let me get off. I'm gonna beat this game before I go to sleep. And I beat the game at like 4 o'clock in the morning. This game has some balls, a lot of balls. You'll hear more in the review, but let's just say this: the reason why I say I have balls is because of how many fucking deaths or supposed. Well, let's just wait. How many confirmed deaths and how many supposed deaths are in here? I can tell you right now, there's about 3 There's probably about two definite deaths and like maybe 2 supposed deaths. And obviously it's not with the characters you think, also with the ridiculous plot twist at the end of the damn game. But the game is fucking awesome. I'll say that right now. I've been saying that on Facebook and my Skype status and shit. I've been saying that, period. The game is fucking awesome. Let me get a Power 8 real quick. Power 8 is for the win. So, in terms of Batman, that's the update on that. Now, there's also something else I wanted to discuss. And that has to do with Hody Jones. Now, I should have said this when the chapter that this is referring to came out last week, but I didn't. But this is referring to, I believe this is chapter 642? 640? Oh, let me check. I want to be politically correct. That doesn't work with anime and manga. I just realized that. What the fuck am I on? Give me 1 sec. I just want to double check it. I believe it's 642. Just in case, because I believe like the manga's running late this week, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, my bad. 643. Okay. The whole thing with Hody Jones. That whole big reveal we find out at the end of this chapter about what Hody Jones is and why is there a random Skype ad pop while I'm trying to do a review. I mean, not a review, a vlog. Son of a bitch. Okay, there we go. The whole thing discussing Hody Jones at the end of 643, to me, kind of justifies the character. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I hate Hody Jones. But it's kind of justified in the sense of what that chat. And a lot of people are thinking, well, that's a bullshit way of expressing it because he said that Hody's reasoning for doing shit is nothing. That he's a creature born of circumstance. To me, that makes perfect sense because in the world of One Piece, a lot of people don't like Hody as a villain. I still don't like Hody as a villain. But I think I'm not supposed to like Hody as a villain. I think this is like the one character who's legitimately made out to be an incredible dick on all levels. Hody Jones is like that fucking bully in like elementary school. Where he talks a lot of shit. He fucked with everybody. And he got lucky in a lot of situations that allowed him to get to that power of being a bully. And that's what Hody is. Hody is literally an all-along fanboy who just got kind of lucky. And the fact that Oda has expressly said what everyone thinks about Hody in that chapter, he's aware that the character he made is annoying as fuck. But I think this is one of the few villains that... This is actually the only One Piece villain who's literally set up this way, who's unlikable on all levels. He made a total dick character, and I'm going to justify why he made this character. Because he made this character, on top of the fact that he's racist, mind you, he made this total dick character, so when you get to that point where Luffy whoops his ass, it's so fucking satisfying. And you're probably thinking, well, it would have been satisfying if they did villains like Lucci or none of that, or Lucci or I'm trying to think. Lucci's like the one most people like, honestly. I mean, honestly, to me, like Lucci or like Gecko Moria or like Crocodile or like fucking Kuro or Don Krieg, all in all. And a lot is like, you guys like those fights, and you like when Luffy beats the shit out of those guys. But the difference is, he's trying to do a different approach with the same thing. You're still going to enjoy when Luffy beats the shit out of the villain. The difference is that you enjoyed the other ones because you thought the character was cool. You thought the villain was cool. You thought what he did was fucked up, and you didn't disagree with it, but you know the nigga had a swag to him that you enjoyed. Almost all the favorite villains of One Piece are like this. Hody is the only villain that's like this, like who's a total dick on all levels. And the funny thing is, Hody and I guess everyone's favorite villain from the series, Lucci, are about the same goddamn character. Because Lucci's reasoning for all the shit he did was because it was his job. Hody is just doing this because he feels like he's obligated to. Not even because he's went through some trauma himself. I mean, for God's sakes, he's caused more trauma for other people than he's actually gone through, which is jack shit. He's literally a racist bigot that needs to be knocked the fuck out. He's like that racist redneck who makes fun of other races like Asians and blacks and Chinese and Mexicans and all that other shit. He's like that racist bigot that everyone wants to fucking take out. And what makes it even worse, it makes him more of a hateable character, is the fact that he doesn't even have any fucking resolve compared to any other villain in the series. And that's I think that was Oda's intention. Oda hasn't done a character like this. He hasn't done a character who is hateable on every angle. He made a character who is hateable on all sides of the angle. As much as people hate characters like Don Krieg or hate Mr. Chu when he was originally a villain, or Buggy and shit, there are still portions of all these characters you like. This he kind of made Arlong realistic a little bit and kind of ruined that whole hatred about him. But in exchange, we got a character that we hate on every level. He literally traded out. He gave Arlong minor development and gave us a character that we could hate on every fucking avenue. There's no way you can like Hody on any level. And you're not supposed to. I think that was the point. That's Oda's thing. That was the whole thing with Hody. That was Oda's plan. His intention was to make us hate the character. He never intended us to like the character. It wasn't with Arlong where he looked cool. It wasn't with Lucci where he had a badass transformation or a cool-ass outfit. He intentionally made a bitch character. This is also why no one gives a shit about the new Fisherman Pirates. Because they're all inexperienced newbies who aren't worth shit. This is what the whole reason was. It's that they wanted that he's like, we're not gonna make, it's like for Fisherman Island, we're not gonna make this giant hard ass core fucking villain for an arc that doesn't even set in the new world. But at the same time, I want to give my readers something different. And obviously, this is more, and I understand why he did this, and the fact that it relates to a 15-year-old so much, because that's been Oda's thing. Through his entire manga, he has never made this series for adults. He's never made this shit for my age group, or for fucking 18-year-old, 19-year-old. I don't even think he's made this for 17-year-olds, honestly. 17, 18, 19, 20, and over. He didn't make this for. He made this for a fucking 15-year-olds, which made perfect sense because you're introducing a bully, racist character. And also just to throw this out here, listen to the One Piece podcast episode that manga reviews it, because they bring up a lot of these points, and that's where a lot of these ideas are coming from in a sense. But it makes perfect sense because if you're relating this, if this is for a 15-year-old, a 15-year-old will relate to this because either you know a bullyish person in your life, or an asshole person in your life, or a racist person in your life. You're gonna know at least one of these three, if not all three. Because, and that's the whole thing. That's how he's starting to relate it. A lot of people. I'm not saying this justifies the arc. I mean, I still fucking hate Hody. I will say the only Fisherman Island that I've recently started liking a little bit more is Zeo, and that's just because Zeo's funny as shit to me. With his fucking him trying to justify getting his ass whooped. That's essentially what Zeo's joke is. Is that every time he gets his ass whooped, every time he gets screwed over, he tries to justify it as if it was planned that way, when we obviously know it's not. Honestly, I know a lot of people hate this arc, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, personally, I'm good. I mean, if you hate the arc and you can't fucking stand any of the Fishmen, period, even like the good ones like Shirahoshi or the Boshi brothers or Caribou or fucking King Neptune or Odahime or Fisher Tiger and shit, you know, that's perfectly fine. Honestly, I still think this is probably gonna be one of my least favorite arcs for a few reasons, but at the same time, I gotta rank it a little bit higher than certain arcs because of the powers and what we get out of this arc. I will say though, I want to ask this question to all the viewers who do read the One Piece chapters and know about all this shit, and for the ones who hate or like or at least know of Fisherman Island, who is your favorite characters? And I'm gonna throw out mine, just to be fair. You could say top 5, but I honestly don't even think I have 5 favorites from this arc, which shows how awesome the arc is. And that would be Shirahoshi, Shirley, Vanderdecken, Fukaboshi. I'm sorry, this nigga Fukaboshi, I will honestly say, is one of those few exceptions I've never actually run across as much where I didn't even give a shit about this character when he first appeared, and now all of a sudden he's like one of my favorites. He's probably my favorite male fishermen in this entire arc. But anyways, those guys. I'm not gonna count Kami, Jinbei, or fucking Hachi because they were in other arcs. I'll put Zeo in there just because he's funny, and I'll put Ikaros in there because I liked him for a little bit. I'm not gonna put. I would put Hyozo in there, but Hyozo doesn't. Hyozo right now is looking like a bitch character all of a sudden, and I just don't give a shit. So those are mine. Those are my favorites. Shirley, Shirahoshi, Fukaboshi, Vanderdecken. Wow, my brain. Zeo and Ikaros. And Zeo and Ikaros is honestly just kind of like a gimme. He's not really a huge fan, but I do like the whole his fight with Frankie just because it's probably one of the funnier out of the fights. That's probably my favorite out of the arc. And I kind of spent almost the majority of this video talking about that, ironically. I always do that with One Piece. But that's just my thing. That's my whole thing with Hody. It's like, I don't hate Hody as much. I don't hate Hody as a villain anymore. I still hate him as a character. I just don't hate him as a villain. Because him as a villain, he's supposed to be like... To me, honestly, what Hody is, if you really want to get really simple with it, is Hody is Buggy if Buggy was taken seriously. If Buggy took himself seriously, that's Hody. Oh, if Buggy was a racist and took himself seriously, that's what I should say. That's essentially what Hody is. He's like who gets incredibly lucky, but then again, Buggy gets lucky on some levels too. But you get what I'm saying. That's my whole justification for Hody. I'm trying to think else. Batman, Sonic Generations. Actually, I might show you guys. Actually, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. So, for all you who actually stuck around to the end, you get to watch me actually play this bitch. Now, give me a second while I try to turn this fucker. I can't really zoom in, so I apologize if you can't see that. But, here we go. I'm going to start it over. Hopefully... I apologize if you can't see it. I'm going to start it over and see. Obviously, I'm not that good, but this is just me. This is me fucking around here. I'm probably going to do worse than I usually do. You know, for the longest time, I couldn't make that fucking jump. That's the irony of it all. Like, I just recently been able to make that fucking jump. And I'm gonna fuck this up. Yep, I fucked it up. Yeah, I messed that up too. Fuck. Oh, god damn it. Fucking recording curves. I've never actually hit those spikes. Son of a bitch. I've actually run on a boost. Mid fucking thing. I made that though. Yay. Oh my god. This is horrible. Oh, I actually made that. That's actually the first time I made that. So, I don't know. This is a really weird playthrough. At least gameplay, actually. Damn it! Oh! I feel so accomplished. I've actually done better speed runs than this. That's what pisses me off. It's in a... Nope. Nope. Ah, come on. If I can get my momentum back, we're good. Oh, god damn it. And this is honestly the home stretch. Like, after this, it doesn't even get any harder. Literally, I'm just running at this point. I know that's the whole thing for the Sonic series anyway. The drifting is actually easier on the PS3. Because I'm used to playing it on the Wii. Anyways, that is Sonic Generations. And I will catch you guys later. This has been the Vlogs again from your boy Terrell. Peace.